Hello, everybody. This is Charlie Jones, Lynn Dawson. And if Charles Dickens was a sports writer, he would say it is the tale of two cities, Houston and Oakland. And for the winner, it will be the best of times. For the loser, the worst of times. As Chris Barr is kicking off for the Raiders. Carl Roaches and Ronnie Coleman are set for the return. Coleman at the goal line. Ronnie's to the 10, 50, 20, and he returns it near the 25-yard line. Let's look at the offense of the Houston Oilers. They, of course, will be led at quarterback by the Snake, Ken Stabler. Stabler hitting 64.1% on the year. 13 touchdowns, but 28 interceptions. Tim Wilson, one running back. He is there to block for this man, number 34, Earl Campbell. Spotted at the 25-yard line. Houston has the ball. Mike Renfro will be the wide receiver. They'll go with two tight ends. And Earl Campbell gets the call. And he has a quick 4 yards. It'll be second down and 6. Mike Renfro, the wide receiver. Now the tight ends, Mike Barber and Dave Casper.
On that last play, there was a fumble, Charlie. They stole the ball from Earl Campbell, and Oakland is getting great field position right after the first play of the game.
Mike Davis stole the football from Campbell. Davis is number 36.
Taking a look at Campbell, 34, going up the middle of that Oakland defensive line. And the ball is snatched right out from under him. Oakland coming up with it. You see in the bottom of the pile right there. 36. Davis coming up with the football, the strong safety.
First turnover and the first opportunity for the Oakland Raiders at the Houston 28-yard line. The give is to Kenny King. King, formerly with the Houston Oilers. He was drafted number 3 a year ago, but he rushed for only 9 yards. Vernon Perry makes the tackle. The quarterback for the Oakland Raiders is Jim Plunkett, hitting 51.6% on the year. And as a starter, they have won 9 and lost 2. Kenny King, been bothered by an ankle injury. This is the workhorse, Mark Van Egan. Bob Chandler is the wide receiver, having his finest year. No gain on the last play. Cliff Branch, you know, the speedster. Second down and 10. Inside to the 25-yard line is Van Egan. He picks up 3 as Elvin Bethea makes the tackle. So it will be third down and 7. The tight end for the Oakland Raiders is Raymond Chester, and here's an offensive line.
And take a look at that offensive line. Number 63, Gene Upshaw, 14-year veteran, has never missed a starting call, either a preseason game, regular season, or postseason game. It's a veteran offensive line for the Oakland Raiders.
5 men in the secondary for the Oilers. Arthur Whittington comes into the offensive set. It's third down and 7. Check it. That's Ira Matthews. That's it. Flags go down. We had action before the football was snapped.
Right away, this ball game is jumping off and get a turn of events.
Ball start, offense, number 65.
The call is on Mickey Marva, the right guard of the Oakland Raiders.
And that's not good for Oakland because they were in position to kick a field goal, taking it back now for Chris Barr. It's making it a little longer if they don't pick up some yardage here. They're in a situation right here, Charlie, they're going to have to throw the football.
Third down and 12. Let's look at the defense of the Oilers. They'll go with a front 3, basically, although we'll see some changes. And that is Andy Doris, Ken Kennard, and Elvin Bethea. The linebackers, and they are excellent. And the secondary with Tatum drawing the starting assignment over Perry, but Perry's going to be in and out of the ballgame. He's bothered by an injury. Third down 12. Plunkett has time. Knocked away, almost intercepted. Number 27, Greg Stemrick, picking up Cliff Branch. Will take another look. It'll be 4th and 12.
That ball was thrown too late and not far enough, Charlie, because Cliff Branch, the speedster, was cutting from the right side of your screen all the way back to the left, and he did have a step had the ball been there, but Plunkett got nailed just as he threw it. You can see right there that Stemrick made an excellent play, and Branch made an excellent play of stripping that ball out of his arms. He grabbed his arm, make sure he didn't come up with an interception, giving at least Oakland an opportunity to come up with 3 points with a field goal.
And it was Andy Doris that was putting the pressure on the passer. 37-yard line, an attempt of 47 yards by Chris Bob. He's got it 47 yards away. And the Oakland Raiders open the score, capitalizing on the turnover and the fumble recovery by Mike Davis. So it is Oakland 3 and Houston nothing. We'll be back with the kickoff.
There he is, Davis, the strong safety, Mike Davis. He's the man that stripped the ball and picked it up from Earl Campbell, the first play of the game for the Houston Oilers.
Bob Nelson was also involved in that play. Now Barr kicks off for the second time in the ballgame. It is high and way short towards the sideline. It goes out of bounds, an automatic 5 yards. We'll bring it back, and this time kick from the 30-yard line.
And also, it's going to be a good field position probably for Houston when they receive this kickoff.
So as we come back, let's look at the offensive line of the Houston Oilers.
And look at number 77, Angelo Fields. He's taking the place of Leon Gray, who's out for the year because he tore an Achilles tendon in his leg. He's a little fella, somewhere in the area, I say area, of 340 to 60 pounds because they don't have a scale big enough to weigh him at their training site.
He stands 6'6", and defensive linemen say it's a cab ride just to get around it. From Phillips, the head coach of the Houston Oilers. And there he is, Angelo Fields. He's a rookie. This is only his third start. Taken in the second round of the draft. Played his collegiate ball at Michigan State. He was a defensive player until his senior year. So this is really only the second year that he has been on offense.
You can take a look. He's standing. He took up the whole picture. There's Tom Flores, the head coach of the Oakland Raiders. There it is. Does it make a difference? Is he a large person? I'd say he is. Number 81 is wide receiver Jeff Frost.
Scooped up at the 12-yard line on the return by Carl Roches. Roches breaks it to the outside. And you're right, the Oilers will have good field position. Chris Barr, the man who kicked off, made the tackle after a 26-yard return. So Houston will move on offense for the second time, and here's the defense.
Number 72, John Matuzak, is really having an outstanding year for the Oakland Raiders and providing a lot of great leadership. Number 83, the Stork, Ted Hendricks, having, I think, the best year of his career. The man who leads to everybody in interceptions, number 37, Lester Hayes at the cornerback position.
And don't forget number 36, Mike Davis, who stripped the ball from Earl Campbell, came up with the fumble, the turnover, that led to the field goal. Pass is complete, first down, going to Dave Casper. Covering 13 yards and the first down. Bob Nelson, the linebacker, stops him. It is at the Oakland 49-yard line.
Charlie, you said you're going to dance with the one that brought you, and we mentioned about this combination. Look at Stabler. He's looking for number 87, and that is Dave Casper. The Stork hit Stabler after he released the football, but 87, Casper, was just looking for that open area between the linebackers. He found the open area. Stabler found him.
And Stabler and Casper played together for 6 years with the Oakland Raiders. Here's Earl Campbell. Slips as he makes his turn. He may get a yard, but that will be it as Bob Nelson was there to cut him down, the linebacker number 51.
Bob Nelson got penetration and got an arm on his legs, and what you're going to have to do against the Houston Oilers and Earl Campbell.
7 minutes and 48 seconds left to go in the first quarter. Oakland leading Houston 3-0, and Chris Barnes' 47-yard field goal was set up by Mike Davis, recovering the ball, a fumble from Earl Campbell. In reality, he simply stripped him. Play action, and he is sacked. Lester Hayes got him. The left cornerback was coming. The Raiders had 54 sacks during the regular season, third in the NFL.
You don't expect a cornerback to be coming after you very often in the National Football League, but because it's double tight end situation, it was a fact that faking that ball, it was a play action pass. He was looking to go to his left, but you're going to see 37 Lester Hayes come into the picture. No one came in his direction, and his responsibility was out in the flat. Since no one came, he went after Stabler, made a big sack.
A loss of 9 on the play. Billy Johnson is in. Stabler to throw, has protection, fires. It's incomplete, 50-yard line. He was going to Mike Barber, the other tight end, and Mike Davis, the strong safety, had the coverage. Stabler has completed 2 of 4 for 21 yards. Quick out, far side to Ronnie Coleman. Coleman streaking down the sideline with the first down and out of bounds at the 27-yard line. 22 yards on the play. Mike Davis finally caught him. Houston converting on a 3rd and 4.
That time he was out there by himself. Either a linebacker was unable to get out there or the linebacker was picked because he got rid of the ball in a hurry. As you can see, there isn't anybody out there, a linebacker or a defensive back, to make the play when he makes the catch. Get that ball to Earl Campbell. 2 play passes by Stabler.
Campbell has 26 yards. He'll add a couple more to that total as he goes to the 10. Matuzak makes the tackle. It'll be 2nd down and 8.
Big John Matuzak made the hit on him, but Earl still picked up 3 yards, and he was hit near the line of scrimmage, showing you the strength of Campbell because you're taking a look at Big John Matuzak. He's weighing in about 280 pounds.
Carpenter in motion. Campbell. He touchdown. Houston has the lead. 55 yards on the drive, 9 plays.
And it's Houston's type of offense. Get that ball to Earl Campbell, run him straight ahead, let him find his own hole. The gap in there, he did at that time. The tough yardage situations. Tom Flores knew who was going to get the ball. We all knew who was going to get the football. That's one thing, but how do you stop Earl Campbell? The only way you can stop him, as I said, you must get penetration by that defensive line. He was just trying to get the jump.
This one is good. So the score, the Houston Oilers 7 and the Oakland Raiders 3. Now with 45 seconds left to go, we're in the first quarter of the wild card game. King gets the call, and he may get a yard, and that'll be about it, as Ken Kennard was there to grab him. And time runs out on the first quarter. And after 1 is complete, it is Houston 7 and Oakland 3. Will be back to Oakland, California, the wild card playoff game in just a moment.
He was on this field when we beat the Oakland Raiders to advance to the Super Bowl.
King leaning across the 40. Just give him a yard on the play. It'll be 2nd down and 9. Ted Washington was there.
Ted Washington does an outstanding job against the running game. A lot of times they get him out in passing situations, but they're stringing this play out. Number 32, Vernon Perry, the strong safety, got good penetration, so he looks like he's healthy, Charlie. He's playing very well. You know, looking at the situation here for Oakland, they've only passed the ball once on 1st down. And that particular time, Plunkett was sacked for an 11-yard loss. But at 1st down situations, they haven't been establishing anything.
Plunkett has completed only 1 of 5 passes for 10 yards since 4 in the pattern. As time he goes deep, getting King. King's there. He's got it. He's out of bounds. 2-yard line. Listen to the crowd.
Shows the quickness of that running back Kenny King, because he was going from the backfield, and that was a long pass. He was going against Robert Brazil, number 52, who has excellent speed. He turns around and he has him beaten, makes the catch, and both feet inbound. For the Oakland Raiders now, hey, you talk about field position. This is a field position you love to have, right at the goal line.
Jensen and Van Eegen, the 2 running backs. This is Jensen trying the right side. He is stopped at the line of scrimmage, maybe just inside the 2. It'll be 2nd down and goal to go. Darrell Hunt and J.C. Wilson make the tackle. During the regular season, Kenny King's longest reception was 18 yards, and that one was 37 yards.
You give the offensive line credit, because Plunkett had an opportunity to stand back there and wait for that running back to come out of the backfield and run all the way downfield. In order to throw it that long at that situation, the offensive line has to do the job.
Van Eegen is stopped as Mark is pushed back. He may get to the 1, but boy, this is just a foot at a time. Greg Bingham, the leading tackler, was the man that was there for the Oilers, and he had a lot of help.
Well, he's the man back there that's reading the play. No one generally can get to him to block him. He's filling the hole now. He's making sure that the back does not get into the end zone. But in a goal line situation like this, the linebackers, generally you can't get an offensive lineman out of the line of scrimmage because everybody is so tight in there. So he is roaming free right behind the line of scrimmage.
What about a bootleg? No, play action. In the corner, he's there. Touchdown. Todd Christensen. Christensen had only one touchdown during the regular season, and that's when he recovered a fumble.
Let me tell you something, Charlie. That was an excellent throw because when you roll to one side at the goal line and throw back to the other side, if it is underthrown and somebody picks that ball off, you're looking at 6 points the other way. That time it was an excellent throw. Number 27, Greg Stemrick, was on that side. It was a great catch by number 46, Todd Christensen. He's rolling to one side and coming back, throwing across the field. It's an excellent throw. 27, Stemrick was there. The catch was made by Christensen. It's 6 points for Oakland.
And that is Christensen's first reception of the year. Extra point is good. The Oakland Raiders are back in front. They lead by 3. A 41-yard drive in 5 plays. It consumed 2 minutes and 9 seconds. We'll be back with the kickoff. 50 yards away. Flags are down. Oakland was in the neutral zone. Pass far side and out of bounds. Has it. Mike Renfro catches it at the 15-yard line, where he goes out with 6 seconds left to go, and there were flags down. Monty Jackson had the coverage on Renfro. From the 27. An attempt of 37 yards and the tie at halftime. A scramble for the football. I believe it was Lester Hayes that came up with it, or Willie Jones? Lester Hayes came up with it. Willie Jones is the man who blocked it. And time runs out.
And so did Temple. They're very short right now on that field. I'm looking for a real explosive second half. Tony Frisch coming in to kick the ball. He just punches it. It's a low kick. He didn't really get it up in the air. 37, Lester Hayes comes up with it. And at halftime, Oakland enjoys a 3-point lead.
It is Oakland 10 and Houston 7. We'll be back in a moment. They've defensed Campbell very well. Now, what is Houston going to do?
They're going to have to establish Earl Campbell. They're going to have to do that.
Intercepted in the end zone. And out to the 1-yard line. The man in the secondary for the Oakland Raiders is Lester Hayes. Listen to the crowd.
Here it is. Stabler going back to pass. He fires this ball and it ricochets. When it ricochets down there, generally there's a defensive man to make a play, and it does. Lester Hayes, 37, the man that's been making the interceptions all year, comes up with a big play, stops a scoring drive by Houston. We'll be back in a moment.
Interceptor in the National Football League this year. Is he ever happy? Lester Hayes. All right. 2nd and 7. Lester, he's in trouble. He is sacked. That is the 4th sack for the Oakland Raiders, and it was Mike Davis who got it.
And you take a look, they've had 4 sacks. 3 of the sacks have been by defensive backs. 2 by Lester Hayes, 1 now by Davis, the other one by Elvin Buffet.
No. Let me just make it. The other one by Dave Brown.
That's right.
Yeah. Just want to make that correction. That is as many times as this man has been sacked in one ball game this year. Boy, that's a big play. Takes it back to the 33, loss of 12.
Elvin Buffet sacked his own man. Hey, that's a trick.
I wanted to get that one. I knew you'd like that. 3rd and 19. Pulled down by Mike Barber. 44-yard line. Gain of 11. So it will be 4th down. And still around 8 to go as Otis McKinney makes the tackle. This is the crowd reacting to the defense of the Oakland Raiders. Chandler shows motion, both backs in the block, and one swings out in the left flat. Going deep to Branch. He has it 45-yard line of Houston. Cliff Branch. 32 yards on the play. And with that play, the 3rd quarter comes to a close. The score is Oakland 10 and Houston 7. And we'll be right back after these messages from your local station. Al Davis.
You see what he's wearing?
Super Bowl ring.
That's what they're looking for. Both teams out there want to be wearing one of those things after about, what, 5 weeks? 4 or 5 weeks?
January 25th. Report on Burgess Owens. Cut on. Could be back. 44-yard line of Houston. Oakland is the ball 1st down. We open the 4th period. Play action. Good fake by Plunkett. Going deep. He's open. Has the touchdown. Raiders. Arthur Whittington. 44 yards.
Play pass to Whittington. Credit that offensive line of protection. Van Egan stays back. An excellent throw by Plunkett. Right on the money. He beat Darryl Hunt, number 50, the linebacker, into the end zone for a touchdown.
An 80-yard drive in 4 plays. And it took a minute and a half.
I credit the wide receivers. Branch did an excellent job of clearing out that area, providing man-to-man coverage on the running back by their linebacker, Hunt, number 50.
The extra point gives the Oakland Raiders a 10-point lead. 14:53 left. Pressure. And it is Mike Davis, the strong safety. 5th sack for the Raiders, and 4 of the 5 have now come from men in the secondary.
Mike Davis has had 2. Lester Hayes has had 2 quarterback sacks, and I'm sure Houston did not expect that. If they did, they didn't have anybody back there to pick up Davis, because you're going to see him coming in right now.
Normally, it's a linebacker that comes on a blitz, and the halfback looks for him. If he comes, he stays in, or the blocking back. Pressure again. Sack number 6, and Willie Jones got it. 6 sacks for the Oakland Raiders. That is the most that Stabler has been sacked in any game this year.
They were putting the heat on. Jones got through him, but Cedric Hartman was also in there. So was Ted Hendricks. Matuzak taking an inside rush. The outside, both Hartman and Jones. Jones coming up with the sack. But there were 3 Oakland Raiders right around Kenny Stabler that time.
The Raiders have a 1st down, and we have 9:17 left to go. And that is John Matuzak that's taking us to commercial. We'll be back in a moment. Van Egan is on the sideline. They're working on him. A gain of 21 on the play.
Look at that speed.
Kenny King around the corner. 1st down. 40. Touchdown is saved by number 37, Mike Reinfeldt. Out of bounds at the 27-yard line. A gain of 27 yards.
Whittington going into the ballgame, as you can see right now. But watch the speed. He goes looking to the inside. Now he puts it on right now, and he outruns. Wilson, number 33, goes to the sideline. Right now, it's 37. Mike Reinfeldt is there. If he hadn't been there, they'd put 4 points on the board. Taking a look at ground level, what it looks like down there where all the action is taking place. But the speed of King is getting a dimension to the Oakland Raiders that they haven't had for a long time.
It is good from 37 yards away. And the Raiders now lead the Oilers by 13. 6 minutes and 25 seconds left to go in the twilight of the Oakland Alameda County Coliseum. Could well be the twilight of the season for the Houston Oilers.
Bear in mind, though, Houston has outscored their opponents 108 to 66 points in the fourth period.
Coleman on the kickoff return. Reverses and reverses into trouble.
Edwards.
Rich Martini and Derek Ramsey team up as we play. Second down and 10.
Tough situation for Houston because you'll take a look at those defensive linemen. Look at them. They're ready to fly. They hit one body line, that's get the staple, and they do.
And they do. That is the 7th sack for the Oakland Raiders. Listen to the crowd reaction to Ted Hendricks' sack.
What a great year he's had, Charlie.
Pressure is there
Lester
again.
Hayes.
Interception, Lester Hayes.
He'll score.
Lester Hayes. Touchdown. That's it. 20 yards on the interception return.
Puts that ball up there. He hangs it too long. Look at that 37. Lester Hayes was in great position to come up with the interception. And along the sidelines, there is no one to touch him. He's in for a touchdown.
Willie Jones, go ahead.
He's looking to go to Renfro, running an out move. But he had excellent position. Defensively had excellent position on Renfro. Renfro really never got him turned around. And the reason he didn't because they had 18 yards to go. So he'd let him catch it in front of him all day long.
Willie Jones and Ted Hendricks were putting the pressure on Ken Stabler. Sellout crowd here, and they are still here. The leaders and those that trail. Extra point. It's good. 27-7. Oakland leading with 5:29 left.
Defensively, Oakland has done a tremendous job on this Houston team. This Houston team that has the running of Earl Campbell, who gained almost 2,000 yards with 1,934 yards during the season.
Dave Casper.
There's a good formation because you see the man way to the right back there. He is there for one purpose. If there is a fumble, he is there to either make the fumble recovery or make the tackle. It's
15
all over.
seconds, and the crowd will take us to the countdown. There it is. The Oakland Raiders defeat the Houston Oilers in the AFC Wildcard. The final is Oakland 27 and Houston 7. In the twilight of Oakland, they win by 20. We'll be back in a moment. Earl Campbell was held to 91 yards unofficially.
That was the ball game. The thing that Oakland had to do, they had to stop Earl Campbell and force Stabler to throw, because one thing that Oakland does very, very well, they put the heat on the passer, and they did that today not only with the defensive line, but I think the defensive backs did an outstanding job for the Oakland Raiders.
Third time these teams have met in the playoffs. The Raiders have won all three contests. The final once again, Oakland 27, Houston 7. This is Charlie Jones and Lynn Dawson.